Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished. Bristol City 1, West Ham United 0. The Hammers are out of the FA Cup. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say Bristol City deserve to go through. I'm going to do a lot of complaining about West Ham. I'm probably going to moan about David Moyes, a lot about our players, about the man in the middle of the pitch tonight as well. But before I do that, I just want to say Bristol City deserve to go through. So you're a Bristol City fan. Now's probably when you switch off. Credit to you. Over both games, you were the better side. You were the better side on the night as well. And you got your tactics bang on once again. You did the same thing you did in the first tie, except that we still had no answer to what you were doing in the first tie. I thought you turned up to bully us, and we allowed you to bully us. It worked, and I think that not the reason you've won, but I think it had a massive part to play. Anyway, Bristol City stuff over and done with. Let's discuss West Ham. Before we do, if you're new to Hammers Chat, please do subscribe. Drop a like on the video. If you actually drop a like on the video now, because you're probably not going to enjoy it, because I'm not. Well, I'm going to enjoy having a rant, to be honest with you, because I'm absolutely pissed off after watching that. I was really looking forward to it. The FA Cup comes round. I want to win it every single year. Bar last year, relegation battle, Conference League. I was okay just missing it last year, but this year, because I think it's fair to assume / expect that we may drop points in the Premier League without. Well, Bo might be back for the weekend, but without Paqueta and Kudus, we might struggle in the league. We might go down to mid-table. And the league's quite tight anyway. There's not that much between 6 and 10. There's not many points. So I think it's fair to assume that we might finish 9th or 10th this season. So for that reason, you want to be competing on as many fronts as possible, and that being the Europa League in March and the FA Cup. We had a winnable tie. Bristol City have a winnable tie, regardless of who they play. Blackpool and Nottingham Forest at that place. I fancied them to win the fourth round, but I fancied us to win the fourth round. So I wanted to win tonight. I was looking forward to this game, hoping that we'd learn from the mistakes, because last week, I think there was an element of surprise. Billy McKinlay sat there, not David Moyes. He couldn't be arsed turning up for the press conference. He wheeled out Billy McKinlay. Not that we're not taking it seriously, but we'll send the assistant manager out for the press conference. And he sat there saying, oh, yeah, Bristol City, yeah, there's no surprises. They were what we thought they were. Well, that was bullshit, because we looked like we were stunned by their physical presence. In the game at the London Stadium, they tried to bully us. It felt like they were bullying us, and it worked. But I felt, well, they've tried that tactic now. We know about it. They did the same tactic again, and it fucking worked again. We've learned nothing. I feel like I've watched 180 minutes of the same game. Bristol City changed formation, but the way they tried to play, they didn't change it at all. It worked in the first game, and it worked again tonight. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because we've done fuck all to counteract it. It's not good enough from us whatsoever. We got a warning very early on in that game by Joe Williams. Now, we'll get on to him. He should have been sent off. I've got no doubt about that. And he shouldn't have been the only one. However, play the referee. When you should, during the game, you should work out what the referee's allowing to go and what he's not letting go and react to it. We didn't do it at the London Stadium, and we didn't do it again tonight. But Williams went in really hard early on Danny Ings. Now, when I first seen it, I thought it was a really hard, fair challenge. I thought, crikey, they're up for this. Upon replay, studs are high. He was very lucky to get away with that one. Then they scored. And this is the complete contrast, because it's similar. It's very, very similar circumstances. The ball falls to Cornet. Ings is wide open. Loose ball falls to Cornet. Ings is wide open in the middle of the pitch. It's a heavy pass from Cornet. Heavy touch. But when a player who hasn't had much minutes looks rusty 90 seconds into the game, don't be surprised. So I've got a lot of sympathy. He's on his weak foot. He's not played much time. Cornet should be doing better, but it's one of them. I can get it. Ings, fuck me. Honestly, I think one of us could run backwards and beat Danny Ings in a foot race. Honestly, how slow was he to move? Anyway, he tried. He huffed and puffed, ran after it. Well, he was moving like he was running, but the speed wouldn't. His body language would suggest he was running. The speed would suggest he was strolling towards the ball. Keeper comes out and belts it. Fine. Mavropanos picks up the loose ball, underhits it to Fabianski. Then our slow keeper, who doesn't, at the London Stadium, didn't come off his line to close down Conway, decides he's going to come off his line today. He comes out, a bit like Danny Ings, huffing and puffing. Conway gets there, goes around him. Fair play to him. I thought he was, I called him out last week for being dirty with his foul on Mavropanos. Could have went down, didn't, stayed up, really composed finish, nice and calm. 1-0 Bristol City after 2.5 minutes. But we overplayed a pass to our slow striker, and then underhit a pass to our slow goalkeeper. Could make it up, so we're 1-0 down. And you're thinking, right, okay, it's 2.5 minutes in. It's not ideal, but there's plenty of time. Surely we're going to do something. And before you know it, I kept looking at the clock thinking, well, we're going to start doing something now, aren't we? Right, surely now we're going to start to impose ourselves on the game. Before you knew it was fucking half time. I'm thinking, where's all the time? What have we done? We've done nothing in the first half. So half time come round, 1-0. I wasn't happy with anybody. I think there was 2 players that looked composed, and that was Ward-Prowse and Emerson. Now, Ward-Prowse's passes weren't doing anything, but at least he was getting his foot on the ball and moving it. In the first half, Danny Ings had 3 passes. 3. Our striker had 3 passes in 45 minutes against the Championship defence. Souček had touched the ball the same amount of times as the Bristol City midfielders. Now, you might think, well, so what's the issue here? Well, we had 60% possession. We had more of the ball than Bristol City, yet our midfielder touched it the same times as their midfielder. Ward-Prowse had double the touches as Tommy Souček. He didn't want to be there. I feel harsh singling out Souček. But the fact of the matter is, I have just watched a Premier League team play a game of football, and there was a fucking foul throw. A foul throw. Just when you think it can't get any worse, somehow it manages to get worse. There was a foul throw. Benrahma in the first half, I don't know what was going on there. We played this 3 at the back formation. Emerson left wing back. Benrahma left wing. I can't recall when I've last seen a team play with wing backs and a winger up ahead of him. It didn't make sense. Benrahma was just slowing us down completely in the first half. There was one point with 5 players in the box. He didn't cross it. He went backwards. It was crying out loud. But I'm singling out those 2. But the reason I'm singling out those is because I don't know. Well, to be fair, I do know why. They were crap. They were both horrifically bad, in my opinion. Not just them. I think Danny Ings was piss poor as well. Not that he got involved too much, but when he didn't really offer anything whatsoever. Mavropanos was dodgy as hell, gave away the goal, made a couple of other errors too. Soufal was doing nothing down that side. Soufal looked bullied before the game even started, which is not like something you'd associate with Soufal. He's usually our intimidator. He looked intimidated before the ball was even kicked. Anyway, the second half comes out, I'm thinking, well, Moyes is surely going to change something. He didn't. Now, I wanted to see a little bit of spice, right? I wanted to see spice from us because the first half, again, I thought they were bullying us. I thought we were allowing it. Not as much as at the London Stadium, but that early tackle from Williams, there was no reaction. Ings started doing that to him a little bit, but there was nothing from our players. We'd just seen them get in our faces 10 days ago, and we've allowed it again. The ball breaks now. Williams flies in on Benrahma, who stuns him in the thigh, in the arm. Sorry, it's a reaction now. Clear as day, red card for Said Benrahma. It's a red card. I've got no complaints whatsoever about Benrahma getting sent off. That is the correct decision. My only frustration with it, listen, he's lost his head, but you know something? I actually get it. I get why Benrahma's done that, because that ref had no control of that game whatsoever from the start, and something like that was always going to happen. I felt like it was going to happen last time we played them, and it didn't. And today, something like that was bubbling. It was just waiting to happen. And that tackle from Williams, it was a nasty tackle again. So I get why Benrahma's reacted. Should he keep his head? Yes. But I would argue the referee should also be in control, in charge of that game, which he wasn't done. So he's allowed this to happen. I just wish Benrahma made it a red card worthwhile. If you're going to get sent off, make it worthwhile. Williams makes the most of it. He goes down as if he's just broke his arm when a stud scraped him in the upper arm. But this is the problem. Williams, it was a red card, but Williams has got him sent off. Williams still had to react to what Benrahma did in order to get him sent off. Had Williams just stood there, it might have just been a booking. It would have allowed the referee to just give him a yellow card and not make a big call. So he got sent off. No complaints for Benrahma. The problem I've got is that should have been Williams' second yellow at worst, or at best, however you want to word it. I think he should have got booked for what he'd done on Danny Ings. Therefore, he probably wouldn't have made that challenge. But he did. He made that challenge because the referee hadn't punished him for his previous effort. So he goes in again on Benrahma. The referees allowed Williams to do that. I think had VAR been tonight, he might have been sent off twice. I don't know. in all honesty, the replay of his second tackle, the one that got Benrahma sent off, it's inconclusive. You see it from one angle. I can't tell there's contact. I can't tell how high the studs are. So I think even if a yellow card's fair, I think a yellow card for the first one would have also been fair as well. But he doesn't make that second one on a booking, and that's what's frustrated me the most. But then we get on to the incident with Aaron Creswell, and this is where it really pissed me off, because the fourth official has no excuse to miss this, and the linesman has no excuse to miss this, because the ball is down the other end of the pitch. The linesman on that side isn't watching anything. Of course, he's keeping an eye on defence, which are parked along the halfway line. It's an easy one. The linesman should be seeing that, but also the fourth official should see that. What's his name? Gardner Hickman. He I say punched him. He swung his arm at Creswell, but it's a red card. Creswell got booked, deservedly so. That should have been a red card for the Bristol City player, and Gardner Hickman should have got sent off for that. But this is where Creswell went down. I think he might have got sent off, but because Creswell stood up and just held on to him, I think it's allowed the referee to bottle that call. So I think the referee's completely got this wrong. Really got it. Darren England's his name. Well, he might as well be fucking Darren North Korea because he causes trouble. But that was poor refereeing. He's not the reason we've lost. I want to make this clear. The referee is not the reason we've lost this game. We were already losing before the Benrahma incident. We were already 1-0 down. We were already playing shite. The referee didn't make Thomas Souček do a foul throw. He didn't make David Moyes go to 3 at the back tonight. He didn't dictate how crap West Ham were. But what he did do, I feel, was got 2 big decisions wrong, which has it has prevented West Ham with an opportunity to get an equaliser. Now, truth be told, I think we would have got an equaliser? No. And I'll be honest with you, I think we were actually better with 10 men. Once Benrahma was off, I think it sort of riled the players a little bit. And you saw a reaction like Creswell. You saw a bit of a reaction. Emerson started to get more control of the game, actually. And not for the remainder of the game. I think the players tired and Bristol City managed the game quite well at the end of it. But for 10, 15 minutes, I thought actually there was a bit of a reaction from our players. And while we didn't really cause anything, we started to get the ball up and around their box, which wasn't something I feel like we were doing enough of with Said Benrahma and the team. So there was a bit of a reaction there. But not enough. And like I said, I think Bristol City managed the game. The worst thing is, I'd like to sit here and talk about chances we had and how unlucky we were not to get an equaliser. There wasn't any. We had 2 shots on target the whole game. There was nothing. We had plenty of corners. Ward-Prowse's corners were crap tonight. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Ward-Prowse's set pieces, awful tonight. Usually they're on the money. Weren't very good. In the first half, to sum up West Ham tonight, we had a corner in the first half. O'Leary came and caught it, bounced, it fumbled, and he caught it again, and Ings knocked out of his hands. Now, it should have been a free kick. I think he had both hands on the ball. Nevertheless, it went over the bar. We got another corner immediately. No free kick was given, another corner. So you're thinking, wonderful. We've now maybe shaken the keeper up a little bit. Let's get another cross in and test him. The corner we got directly from the goalkeeper dropping the ball, we played it short and went back to Creswell, who swung it out over to the other side of the pitch to Said Benrahma, and the ball didn't come in the box. And then 5 minutes before that, we tried a long throw. I've never seen us successfully do anything with a long throw. We did it in the second half as well with Ben Johnson. I've never once seen a long throw work for West Ham. I wish we would just stop doing it. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. And the worst thing is, we have all this drama and theatre bringing a centre back up for it when it's just going to get headed out and they're all going to have to go running backwards. We were awful tonight. We were really, really bad. Like I said, Bristol City deserved to win, but there was just there was nothing from us. There was no heart. There was no fight. I hate the phrase. I absolutely hate using the phrase, they wanted it more, because that strongly suggests that your team didn't want to win, that the attitude was all wrong. But I felt like that both games. I felt they wanted it more at London Stadium, and I feel like they wanted it more today. Now, I will criticise Moyes when I think he needs to be criticised, and I will credit Moyes when I think he deserves to be credited. But one of my reasons for retaining David Moyes until the end of the season is that he takes cup competitions seriously. That's one of my reasons. Well, we threw the Carabao Cup against Liverpool. The attitude was piss poor. And tonight, and against Bristol City, the London Stadium, the attitude was, again, not good in both games. Moyes has got a get out of jail card a little bit tonight, not with the West Ham fans, but I think with mainstream media, Moyes has got a get out of jail card because of Said Benrahma's red card. I think the focus will be on the referee, and it should be. He was shite, right? That decisions were awful. Not send Benrahma off correct before someone twists it. The fact that Williams was on the pitch and the fact that Garner Hickman was on the pitch, that's the big decisions he got wrong. But Moyes will get away with it tonight. Not from the West Ham fans, but from the general mainstream media. They won't blame him. They'll be looking at the red cards. Well, because he got sent off. What's he meant to do, kind of thing. But we got a bit of a glimpse as to what we're possibly going to do without Bowen, Baguetta and Kudus, and it's not very good, is it? Individual players, the senior players, the ones that play often, are actually the ones that were crap tonight. I think Fabianski wasn't particularly great or bad. I think he was sold by Mavropanos. I thought Mavropanos was poor. I thought Zuma looked broken, even more broken at the end when he went down. I was thinking, please just go off because we need him for Sunday. I think Emerson was good. Ward-Prowse quiet. Moved the ball about sideways and backwards, but nothing going forward. I thought Souček, I don't even know what to say about him, truth be told. What's the point? What's the point of him being on the pitch? He offers nothing. The only time I've seen him get involved was the last 5 minutes because we started to go in long ball and he was flicking it on. But at one point he flicked it backwards. I thought Kure tried hard. I know people. I think this is going to be. I seen the live chat just before I went live, and I was reading what people were saying, and there was a lot of criticism for Kure. I actually think he tried hard. Was he good? Not necessarily. But bear in mind, this guy's not had any football whatsoever. I actually thought he was okay. A really good cross into the box for Souček. That's actually one highlight. That one from Souček. Good save. Good save by O'Leary. I think Souček possibly should be doing better, but usually you get on target with those ones. There's a good chance you've scored. And I think the ball in from Cornet was fantastic. So I actually think Cornet gave 100%. There was only a handful of players I feel were embarrassed by that result tonight. I think Emerson's one, Ward-Prowse was as well. And like I said, while I think he perhaps didn't offer anything going forward, he doesn't necessarily in the Premier League either. He's quite safe in the Premier League too. And I actually think Ben Johnson, when he came on, he actually had something about him. He was actually trying to make something happen, which is more than can be said for most of them. And I thought, like I said, I thought Soufal was crap as well. So it's actually Moyes' sort of tried and tested players tonight. I didn't think we're up to scratch. Now, not necessarily the other ones were. I think Benrahma was poor. I think Ings was completely anonymous. Mubama came on. There was an opportunity for a ball out to Marshall right at the end there. It was an easy ball to make. It was bad. Really, it was a really bad pass. Overhit. Completely overhit. And when you're a man down, it's difficult to find space. But actually, Marshall had an opportunity then to close in, either take a shot from a wide angle or put a cross in. And the ball from Mubama, it didn't even need to be inch perfect. It just had to be safe. And it wasn't. It was a bad pass, actually. Marshall tried to find him, miscontrolled it. It was frustrating, actually. And I'm not blaming Mubama. I'm not blaming him. There's 10 people to blame before you even start looking at the two kids that came off the bench. It was nice to see Marshall and Mubama come on, but I don't think Moyes didn't really have much option. He had to put them on. He didn't have any other substitutes he could make. He had to do something. Just bad tonight. I think there was a lot of, when we did the preview yesterday, I didn't think we'd win. Well, I thought we'd go to extra time and maybe sneak it in extra time. Gonzo thought we'd lose tonight. And sometimes when you do these previews, you think it's negative. It's our honest thoughts, but you're both predicting it's a tough night for West Ham. And you think there's going to be a reaction from our subscribers. It's going to be a case of, oh, you miserable so-and-so. And there was a few of them, but not as many as I thought. By and large, most people were in agreement. The first few comments on the preview yesterday were, yeah, I think we're going to go out tonight. Yeah, I think we're going to get beat. Yeah, I think Bristol City are going to win. We do a prediction competition over on our Patreon every game now where you predict the score and the first scorer. And the winner win something. So tonight, if the winner was an addict, someone has won it tonight. If it was an addict subscriber, they win a signed Sufal shirt. Now, they probably won't one after tonight's game, but we've got a prediction competition. A lot of people were predicting Bristol City wins, and like I said, it hasn't been won recently. When we beat Arsenal, it wasn't one. When we beat Man United, it wasn't one. But we've gone and lost 1-0 to Bristol City. Obviously, a Bristol City player scoring, and someone's won it. Someone has predicted that. There was a lot of nerves. There was a lot of low expectations on West Ham tonight, and somehow I feel like they've even managed to under-deliver on that pretty low bar. I'm not happy tonight. I'm trying to remain calm because a couple of people gave me a row last time I was angry in a review, so I'm trying to remain calm. But I think it's also because after when Benrahma got sent off, I knew we'd lost. I didn't see us getting back into it. So I've had about 50 minutes of knowing we're out before I did this video. But we've now got it feels like we've got all our eggs in one basket now in the Europa League, unless we're going to do something in the Premier League. But not good. For a manager that's potentially auditioning for a new contract, that's not really what you want to do tonight. I think Moyes will cop a lot of flack, and deservedly so, but I think a lot of those players, over both games, a lot of those players' attitudes stinking. Their performance was a disgrace, quite frankly. Some of them just did not want to be playing tonight or at the London Stadium, and that's not good enough. It really isn't. We need to see a reaction from them on Sunday against Sheffield United. We also need to see a reaction from the manager with some of these players that have put in limp performances for the last 2 games, and as a result, we're out the FA Cup. And while Said Benrahma, it was a stupid thing to do, at least he had a reaction, because there was too many of our players actually just allowed us to get bullied. Williams, dirty player, because he did it in the first game and he did it again tonight. And when a player does 3 tackles, the same ilk, and they're all a bit naughty, you get the impression he just, I don't know Williams. If a Bristol City fan are watching this thinking, hey, he's not normally like that, that's fine. But from what I've seen over 2 games, he's a dirty player. But the worst thing is, Benrahma's the last person I would have put money on to do something back, to retaliate. But I almost found myself a little bit thinking, good on you. At least someone's finally decided to give something back. Granted, it got him sent off. I don't think it's lost us a tie. Benrahma getting sent off hasn't lost us the game. The referee hasn't lost us the game. The manager and the players have lost us that game tonight. Not good enough. I'm going to disappear. If you've somehow enjoyed the video, please do drop a like on it by clicking thumbs up. Helps out the video, helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat. I'll be live tomorrow morning. Wednesday morning, I'll be live at 9 AM. If you fancy joining in, I'll catch you then.